Hello and welcome to the next part of our journey through 1 Thessalonians. Hopefully you were able to read through this chapter 3, and had a go at answering the homework questions. Have you ever doubted something? Asked questions about whether something would work when you first tried it, or if what you were putting your trust in was going to work out? It might be about a business idea, or something at work, or a friendship, or a relationship, or even doubts about God. You are not alone if you have had doubts about things. As we read through this chapter, we can see that even Paul had doubts, but not in a bad way. He was worried that the devil had been able to get his friends in Thessalonica, and that they wouldn't have remembered what he had taught them. However, we read that Timothy has come back to Paul after visiting the church in Thessalonica and reassured him that all is good, better than good even. Pausing here for a second, we find a bit more about Timothy here in this book. Timothy was a young man that Paul had a lot of time for. He was someone that Paul invested into and encouraged him and helped him to get to know God even more. He became one of the people who travelled round with Paul, learning from Paul so that he would be better equipped to lead the church where he was responsible in Ephesus later on in his life. Back to this chapter in Thessalonians. When I read it, it seems like there is a common element about overcoming persecution and distress because of each other. The people in Thessalonica were able to keep going because they had good memories of when Paul and his team had been there and what they taught then was enough to help them. And Paul now shares that in his hardship and persecution, he was encouraged because of their faith. They were encouraged by each other, even though they were miles apart. They weren't close together, yet they were able to encourage one another because their experiences, the things they were going through, were similar. Facebook and other social media can be a great place to see what other people are doing. It's great for us to be able to see what is happening in the Philippines when we're here in Ireland. Yet a lot of the time, we only see the good bits of people's lives. The things that are going well for people. And yet here we read that Paul is encouraged because of the bad things that he's seen, the persecution that he's seen. Not because he's happy that they are being persecuted, but because of their shared experience, knowing that they're going through it together for Christ. If we only share the good stuff on social media, on Facebook, wherever, with friends, with family, with church people, with our neighbours, then we are not allowing others to see the real us. And in sharing when times aren't great, when things are not good, we can help others who are going through hard times themselves. I am also encouraged in this chapter that Paul comes back to Jesus because it's all about him. Whatever we are going through, whether it is good or bad, all that we live for is Jesus. He will help us and strengthen us when we are struggling. And it's all a blessing from him when things are going well. When we hear about the things that are going well with our friends, we can pray for them. Thank God for them. Even if it's just a 1-minute prayer, that prayer can make a difference. Not just in the bad times, but in the good times too. So be blessed and encouraged and challenged as you look even more into this 3rd chapter of 1 Thessalonians. See you next time.